I'm Alex Feathersweet, and this is my web series review for The Emma Agenda. The Emma Agenda is a mixed-style series about Emma, a college sophomore, and her misadventures in matchmaking her friends. It's based off Jane Austen's book, Emma. Some things I really liked about this web series were the amount of LGBT characters. There's a lot of different sexualities and several different genders represented. I also really liked how not everyone's experience was presented as the same. I felt like there was a lot of diversity in how the characters interacted with their individual identities. Two characters especially have a discussion about how one knew that they were bisexual, and then the other expresses how they've recently discovered their own sexuality. So I felt like it was all very organic, and a lot of different types of people with different types of experiences can really relate to characters within this web series. I also really liked the discussions of healthy friendships and relationships in this series. The Emma of the original novel, she disregards a lot of people's needs and wants in favor of what she thinks they should need or should want. And I like that there was a lot of discussion in this series about what a healthy relationship is, what a healthy friendship is, and then also once you've made a mistake, what the most responsible way to take accountability for it is. While she is sympathetic, that also takes real work for her to change her perspective. This series did a good job of showing where her desire to tell other people how to behave and how to live their lives comes from. It comes from feeling very adrift in her own life. I also really liked the amount of development between John and Lincoln. In the original novel, Jane Fairfax and Frank Churchill have been replaced in this web series by Lincoln Churchill and John Fairfax. One is a gay trans man and the other is a bisexual man, so how they experience their relationship and their reasons for hiding it are very different. And I really liked how the relationship between them was developed instead of just being a kind of shocker ending as it is in the original novel. And their relationships with the other characters, specifically Emma, are much more developed. Some things that I disliked about this web series were I felt that some of the plot points tended to explode without the necessary build-up. I feel especially the climax where Emma goes too far and hurts a lot of people's feelings. Personally, I didn't feel like there was enough build-up to that moment for her to lash out the way that she did. And I felt that a lot of things just seemed to happen in a very sudden way where we weren't really set up for certain things as much. An example would be how Jordan and Emma's relationship. Jordan in this web series plays the Alex Knightley role, so instead of a man, it is a lesbian. Jordan spends a lot of time in this web series off screen. I feel like their relationship would have seemed more solidified and more like something to root for if we'd really seen more of it in its day-to-day and not just quite a bit in the beginning and then it kind of tapered off for most of the middle. I also didn't like that Jordan was absent during that climactic moment. I feel that Jordan calling her out for that and really being there to express her feelings about that experience would have been, and I think it would have definitely been very powerful. I also felt that some of the dialogue in this web series felt a little awkward to me. I don't have specific examples written down here, but I think watching it, I felt like sometimes specifically Emma's dialogue was being read or repeated from memory and not necessarily like it was coming from a person's own soul and their own thought. I would watch this web series if you really like college set web series. A lot of the characters have a lot of anxiety surrounding their place in college. The reasons a lot of characters come and go is specifically based on where they're at in school, what their availability is, and a lot of Emma's own anxieties come from the fact that she's not really sure what she wants to do. If you like Jane Austen's series, again, this is based on one of her novels, so if you really like anything written by her and you're interested in exploring that in a different media, then this would be a really good web series for you to watch. And if you really like LGBT plus and gender bent characters, cast is made up of a lot of LGBT people with a lot of different relationships by the end. So if you really enjoy that and you're really looking for that representation, then I would watch this web series. If you prefer characters who are adults, which especially for Jane Austen novels that are centered around marriage and love and building a family and stability, then I think maybe you should give another web series a try. This and a lot of other Jane Austen novels have been adapted quite a bit, so there's probably another adaptation you could watch where the characters are adults instead of college students or young adults. If you prefer original web series instead of literary based or literary inspired web series, then obviously this web series is not one of them. And if you prefer series that are longer, span over a longer period of time, maybe go through a bunch of different plot points and show a more gradual learning of life lessons that the characters go through, delve into their lives more, then I would maybe watch another adaptation or another web series. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any recommendations for me, my list is very long, but I always love to hear more. And if you agree or disagree with anything that I said, you can feel free to chat about it in the comments.